So, ladies and gentlemen, in my somewhat newly reinvigorated room, because I literally just reorganized it, moved some furniture around yesterday. Today's Friday, so and the Jaguars played yesterday, so I guess you could tell what date it was that I did it. Here I am, your boy the man, NJ to the city, uh, so on and so on. So I'm not really filming this on my desk like I usually do, or even in the front room. I'm filming, in the kitchen. I'm filming right here in my bedroom. I mean, even though my desk is in my bedroom, the phone is now angled on my speaker, my Vizio speaker instead, because I'm right here in front of my television, which, like I said, I'm just playing Madden 20, and thank God my dad bought it for me, and I'm mastering it a little bit, little kinks here and there. I'm 3-5 now, so it's all right. I'm still playing with my hometown Jaguars, but sorry, Nick Foles, I traded you away and traded Fournette away to the Broncos. Why? Because Foles, I love you, but you're not mobile enough, and Fournette just kept fumbling the ball, and I can't have that on my team. If you want to consistently win, you can't have that. So that's why I just went and did that. To get into some things about back to school, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, because I don't know how many people are going to view this, but most definitely over time, my Twitter account, main Twitter's NJ number 2 the city, capital N, capital J, number 2, capital T, lowercase HE, capital C, lowercase ITY. Instagram, same thing, but obviously it's all lowercase. So, NJ to the city. NJ to the city music, and NJ to the city news, and Kicks for Kids by NJ to the city, and Brother Nation Foundation. So, all that on Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, I just felt inspired to let everybody know, the fact being that all glory be to God that I have my driver's license now. Got that in May, and we're gonna take over the city in second half of this year. I mean, this is the first year of my entire life. I can tell you that I have nothing immediate to do. Once school starts, I'm not in school myself, meaning college. That is, because I graduated in part of class of 18. Came in with a class of 17, but it just took an extra year. All glory be to God, signed that IEP, got it through. Thank God for everybody that helped me get it through. Like I say, I can't thank them enough. I really, really wanted to come back for the class of 2021, which is what I ended up doing, to help mentor them and help guide them and so on and so on, and build something with them. And I can tell you, like I say, I had an impact. I love that I have an impact, had an impact, and continuously will keep on trying to do what I can to grow that impact, because that's what the rest of this year is for me. Trust me, it's not that I don't want to. Wow, 49ers 3-5 too now. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, it's not at all that I don't want to go to college myself. It's just that it's not my calling, and I'm not going to force myself to make anybody else happy. When it comes to being a teacher, it's not something that I want to do either, but at the same time, I'm open to it. Whatever you can say the Lord's will is for me, and whatever people, I guess, trust that people want from me when it comes to, my educational position, I'm okay with that. But I've had people tell me I should be a teacher or a dean or a principal or my personal favorite, guidance counselor. I can tell you that one of the top reasons why I don't care enough to go to college right now for any of that is because, ladies and gentlemen, I read a lot of reviews. Sorry, I just got a new got an update on my phone from Action News Jacks. But as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, I've done a lot of research over the years about schools, and I'm telling you, a lot of schools are absolutely garbage. What that means is they're not doing their jobs towards helping the kids in the God first manner that they should. They're too busy, dare I say, molesting the kids and treating them like just pure numbers on a paper, and a few other things that I can tell you that it's pretty much just disgusting. It's disgusting, disturbing, and more. They're too much. Like I say, they're too busy abusing, molesting, and just not treating the kids with any type of moral respect. I can tell you that because I've read a lot of reviews. I literally read reviews for a living to an extent, and I can tell you that God, to God be the glory. I want to help. I can tell you that there's only so much I can do now that I'm not in anybody's official school during the school day. But I can tell you that from afar, as the ambassador, continuously I will do what I can through music, through seeing people around town, through buying merchandise, through donating, through whatever I gotta do, because I want to help schools so many. There's too many to name, too many to help, but I tell you, I will die trying to help as many as I God first can, because that's where my God first heart is towards the further visit of all people in Christ's name. Now, definitely talking about these Panthers and Valley Ridge kids, or whoever watches these videos in the next few months, because one of the top things that will be put on the forefront, because Brother Nation Entertainment, everybody can already knows that I've had this channel for a hot minute, even though it's definitely longer than a minute that I've had the channel. Had the channel for like 5, 6, 7 years. But everybody can, from everybody's perspective, over the last few years, who know I've had this channel, here's what's up. So it's just the fact being this channel is now about to be one of the top things that, by God's grace, if I can do this school year, is one of the top things I'm doing is I'm putting this channel on the forefront of my career, and because I really do want people to, at least while I still have YouTube, I want people to literally understand, hear my voice, know my thoughts, know what it means to learn, build, and grow in Christ's name for the further events with all people. And the reason why I say, well, I still have YouTube, because even though I'm not hugely political at all, YouTube right now has this little thing with political voices. I'm pretty sure if you don't know, there's plenty of research on it. Right now YouTube has its own little, thing with political, I want to say censorship or whatever else. I mean, I've done plenty of research on it. I don't want to go too deep into it, but the point is YouTube definitely has its own little thing with political voices right now. That is not good, but at the same time they got it going on, and I hope to God that I'm not big enough right now to even be put on that list to an extent, and I believe even when I ever were to be put on that list, I think I've accumulated a good enough fan base, and continuously could accumulate one where I got plenty of people who will practically fight the battle for me. They will fight YouTube over my reinstatement, I'm pretty sure, if that were to ever happen to me, because I'm telling you, everything I spread for the most part is common sense. Everything I spread is God, it's Jesus, it's for the furtherance of all people, it's loving thy neighbor as thyself, it's calling sin, but as well telling you how much hope there is for you in the future in Christ's name, if you accept him and if you do what you got to do to take the necessary steps in the process with him to heal yourself and become born again to an extent, So 7 minutes, thank you for listening to that part of it. But this new school year, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of greatness that will come from the school year, and I have faith in that. And I look forward to making my independent rounds to a lot of schools, not just Nice and Valley Ridge anymore, because now I can drive. Nice and Valley Ridge were one of the 4 most local schools. I had those 2, and then I had Palm Valley just recently this year that I never went to, and then I got PV. I went to PV a little bit, but not a ton. Palm Valley, I'm definitely going to hit more stops there. Palm Valley Academy to support them. And I'm going to be hitting their Atlantic Coast High School, First Coast High School, Mandarin High School, Kernan Middle School, my alma mater, and a few other places. Like really, God first everywhere that I can afford to be at any given time. Fleming Island High School is one of my favorites, honestly. Can't tell you why. They just are, honestly. I think I just like the name Fleming Island. And so on and so on. There's a lot of different schools that I want to, go to, and like Matanzas, First Coast High School, and I'm not afraid of driving. I love driving. I love it. So I can tell you that I'm gonna be making my rounds at a lot of schools. This is all for the best of all people when it comes to growing my fan base. The fan base is really already built. This is just me continuously growing it and expanding it towards the further best of all people in Christ's name, so we can all learn, build, and grow together in Christ's name. Because all I'm gonna be doing at these schools is continuously, cheering on their teams, meeting new people, asking questions. You could say doing a little bit of investigative reporting, and just getting to know that part, that community. One of the biggest parts that this is about with me is getting to know my communities, because I'm from Jacksonville. I'm from the largest city in this state, which is right now the biggest for crime too. So I got to do what I got to do that activism, as a born-again Christian, rapper, singer-songwriter, and more. Use every vice that I can to help my city heal from, you could say, the inside out, and or from the outside in, because I believe in us, that we are better than all this stuff. I even literally read a report last year about how Duval right now, at least last year, putting it through Duval, it has been Duval County Public Schools last year was notorious for, if I'm not mistaken, suspending the most African American students. Ladies and gentlemen, that is, and I mean in Florida, that is. the most prominent. I mean, that is the most disturbing thing. You mean Duval County Public Schools is from last year's report I read a couple months ago, last school year though, the most notorious right now for spending the most African American students out of the entire state of Florida. Mind-boggling. I mean, the last time I was in a DCPS school, it was in 2013, 8th grade, Kernan Middle School. And you mean to tell me that since then, this is how far Duval County Public Schools has gone? Ladies and gentlemen, you could, again, consider me an ambassador for DCPS as well, because once again, I'm from there. I can never forget that hometown root and so on. I'm going to do what I can to get more involved in DCPS as well as St. Johns County School District. I'm in this thing for the further visit of all people. In Christ's name, thank you to everybody who understands, who cares, who prays for me, and who is continuously rooting for me and cheering me on in this, you could definitely say to an extent, spiritual battle each and every day. Because once again, you know, it is something where, like I said, I try to put faith over fear, but sometimes I am trapped in situations where I'm putting fear over faith, and I'm not doing things that I should do to help everybody. You know, and such. It's a mental battle. It's a spiritual battle, and I hope I can continue to keep learning, building, growing in this towards, you know, my best self, and you know, for the rest of 2019 and above and beyond. So, you were definitely definitely gonna see how things go. I look forward to showing up to as many sporting events as possible. You know, Nice is always gonna be the home. Same thing with Valley Ridge. But now that I can drive, I'm gonna be going to Pedro, Mandarin, Creekside, Bartram, you name the school, I'm going to be there. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to divvy it up between my appearances because there's only so much ground I can cover in some of these games. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go to some of the most important games for some of these schools and see how we do. One of my biggest plans is to, you know, get comfortable enough when I'm there to just take over the entire student section because I'm NJ to the city. How can I not? I mean, I rap, I can sing, I can do almost anything. Through Christ which strengthens me. And I believe that not only with doing stuff like that, but also with, you know, motivational speeches here and there, how could I not, you know, even in that one sporting event, how could I not make a lasting impact? And how could I not, you know, be that guy that everybody remembers whenever he comes back is, oh yeah, you're that guy who did this with the student section, or who spit that freestyle for the student section, or you're that guy who, you know, who gave that motivational speech. You know, sorry, 20% of battery, even though I stutter saying that. Yeah, I stutter a lot. But yeah, I can imagine it. People being like, oh yeah, you're that guy that gave the motivational speech to the student section, or you're that guy that, you know, that gave the freestyle to the student section, or sang or did whatever, you know. I can imagine that, you know, and that's how you make, and at least for me, this is how you grow and expand and impact and influence, you know, to other schools that you never been to. And one of the top things that I'm telling you, I'm trying to represent something for the kids. I want everybody to understand. I'm only 21 years old, by the way. If anybody did not know my age, even though I've said it in like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, many videos before, I'm only 21 years old. Even though sometimes I feel like I'm way older than that, but I'm only 21 years old, ladies and gentlemen. To know that I'm only 21 years old, I'm telling you, I'm not too far off from a lot of you. I'm really not, honestly. You know, and I just feel the calling, the spiritual calling from the one up above. I feel that spiritual calling to, you know, reach out and do certain things to help every community out there, that we can do more, we can do better. Jacksonville can heal. You know, it's just the negative gun violence we got to help kill, you know, when it comes to, you know, we got to help destroy that gun violence. You know, we got to do, and not just the gun violence. That's just like one out of like many issues in my hometown, my home district, home county. That's just one of many issues, but that's one of the things we have to help kill that, because that's not going to help us. That's just going to keep on dragging us down in the gutter more and more. I have more to cover. Thank you all for listening, watching, and subscribing. It's me, your border man, NJ, number 2 the city with the TO, and number 2, and so on. NJ to the city with the TO, with the number 2 is the one that obviously for the most part I go by, but at the same time, TO was the one I started off with, so you can call me by either one. It doesn't matter to me. But God bless, more coming soon. And we're taking over the city the second half of this year. God knows, it's all in my hands, you know. He got my back, so I'm taking my life back. So, peace. God bless.